Hi guys! So we've had quite a few requests for a tour of the boat, so we thought we'd do that for you today. So we are on the Blue Peter.
For now.
Which is a 32, yeah, we might rename it. It's a 32-foot Ontario sailboat. Yeah, what's the engine?
It has a 30 horse Perkins diesel.
Diesel.
But most importantly, it is a sailboat.
It's a sailboat. Because that's what we're here to do, is sail. Not today, another day. So let's take a look at the deck. Oh, and there's Max. Hi, Max. Max. Apparently that's really interesting. Max is taking himself for a walk. So we've got the mainsail, clearly not up right now, but you saw it in the other video.
And the deck.
And the Logan. Fiberglass deck. And the Max.
We also have a very large chain locker.
The ton of rope. Oh, lines.
A whole bunch of stuff that we do not know about yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on this boat, and we're just kind of working our way through it.
But luckily enough, the chain locker drains externally and not into the bilge.
Yay, good news. Which means we stay warmer and drier in the boat.
We also have anchor windlass.
Sweet. I'm very bored, Max. And then we have our front sail, also known as, is it a Genoa or a spinnaker?
Good question.
So we also have a few hatches, which are wide open right now to let in some nice fresh air and air intakes. Tarp to keep the boat dry when we're not here. Nice little cockpit. It's actually pretty comfy. I thought it was going to be like too small, but it's pretty easy to maneuver around. Just chilling. This is one of Max's 2 beds. This is his outside bed, which he seems to actually prefer to inside, probably because he can actually see stuff happening. Inside's kind of boring for a dog. Okay, my turn. Okay, so now we're going to take you inside the cabin. So this is the cabin. It's huge. Actually, it's pretty decently sized. Like, it's kind of like, it's bigger than a camper. Yeah, there's like lots of seating space, although Max will be taking up like a good chunk of that most of the time. That's his bed. And then we've got a little galley over here, which will probably be like one of our larger challenges. It's probably going to be trying to find cooking space, because clearly you can see there's not much for cupboard or counter space. So that's a cupboard space, actually, not much counter space. That's our ice box.
Converted to a fridge.
Fridge, ice box, and then there's like more storage in here. And then the cupboards. About the same size there. And then our gimbaled stove. I just still don't know how to unhinge it for the gimbals.
It's right here. And then it does its thing.
Ooh. And this comes off too, which is kind of nice. And there's the stove. So that Logan can cook me breakfast in bed. This is the breakfast in bed tray. Aww. Sad face. And we also have we have 2 wet lockers, so this guy, which has nothing in it right now, but this will probably be our main clothing.
There's a life vest down there.
Yeah, there's 2 life jackets in there. If you're ever on the boat and you wonder where they are, that's where they are. This little guy pops down, and then there's more seating, or max sleep space. And then this is our other wet locker, which is full of rain gear. We got 4 full sets of rain gear in here, which is, as I'm sure you know, a necessity on the West Coast. And then in here we have the V-berth, also known as our bed, which is obviously not made, but there's tons of space. So Logan gets to find a new place to sleep because it's all mine. That's great. We also have a tiny head right behind there, which isn't smelling great, so if any of you have any tips on how to make your head smell less, we're already running it with fresh water, not seawater. We would love to hear those tips because it doesn't smell very good. And then this is our little diesel heater, which needs a rebuild. It's really hard to start, as you probably also saw on the other video, the first video. We got a new vacuum, which is what's in that box, which we haven't used yet. Hence the dirt that you may or may not be able to see.
Because of this guy.
Sir Fluffingtons.
Who looks very bored right now.
Max Merflius. But also content. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the engine.
And then our engine's under here.
So many random cubbies in this place, it's awesome. And that is the engine. And the awesome thing about this too is that the last owner put a bunch of soundproofing in. So
Like this?
yeah.
Ooh, soundproof.
So even when you have no wind and you have to motor, it's not super, super loud. It's still loud, but not unbearably loud.
And here's where I struggle.
Got it. Nice.
Yeah.
That was well done.
Soundproofing.
Sweet. So that, oh, right. And then there's batteries down here.
And this is my current project, dealing with this mess. I don't even really want to look in there. It's kind of frightening.
There's a bunch of cords and stuff. And batteries that have to be load tested today.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yay! So that's the boat.
Most of it.
Most of it. Pretty straightforward. It's got enough space for us. We obviously haven't moved all of our stuff onto it yet because we're still living in the house right now, but slowly inch by inch. Wow.
Take 2.
Slowly and surely we're moving all the stuff into the boat. Piece by piece.
We'll get there.
Yep.
Also, it is super nice out today.
It is super nice.
So I literally know nothing about sailing.
Neither of us do. Absolutely. Well, we know a little bit about boats. So it's not completely absolutely nothing. Both of us have had experience with not sailboats. Both of us have had experience with power boats previous to buying this boat. So it's not like we'd never been on a boat and we decided to buy a sailboat. That would have been a bit crazy. We're only this crazy, not this crazy. This crazy. Right?
Sure.
So we decided that we wanted to buy a sailboat with no knowledge. The boat that we found that we wanted was in Vancouver, which is... How many nautical miles is Vancouver from here?
50?
50 nautical miles.
A little less than 50.
Okay, yeah, because we went to Nanaimo instead of French Creek.
Yeah.
So we ended up south of where we originally planned to moor, because the marina that we were going to go to is like the #1 marina in the area for herring boats, and it just happened that it was, of course, herring season when we had to move the boat. So it was like jam-packed. It was like going to a Vancouver mall on a Saturday, except instead of cars, it was boats in the parking lot, also known as a marina.
They also don't have mooring slips, so you just have to raft your boat up and hope that the next person to come along and untie you and move your boat ties it back up after.
Yeah.
So we weren't super stoked about that.
No. And there's no... Anybody can go down there. Like, you can go anywhere in French Creek during the day without anybody checking you or anything. You can just go walk around, which you've done numerous times. The marina that we're in now is... you need a fob to get in. So it's pretty safe here, I think. People seem nice and stuff. So yeah, so we we had to get the boat from Vancouver all the way over to the island. And we've had some crappy experiences with powerboats. Well, mostly one powerboat in the Strait, in the Salish Sea, where it got really choppy on our way back, and the boat that we were in was like not really made for that, and it was pretty intense. Like,
It was not fun.
no, I was very stressed out by the end of that adventure. So I was kind of stressed about that coming back over. I thought maybe that would happen again.
I wasn't stressed at all about that.
About that, there's many other things to stress about. That was not on Logan's list. It was on mine. But this boat is actually made for the ocean. Funny how that changes things when the boat that you're in is actually made for the water that you're in. And it was like probably about the same size swells as we had that day, but like this boat just carried through them beautifully, and especially when we were sailing, it just like felt like it was made to be going with the swells, so it was great. Once we were on it and going out, I didn't have any fear. Also, we brought Rudy with us, and that was like a huge thing. That was like the best decision we made.
It was great that we didn't have to attempt to put sails up on our own.
Yeah.
And learn some very hard lessons, which...
Yeah. We've heard of other people learning said hard lessons because they didn't know how to sail and decided to sail from Vancouver over here.
Yeah.
So, just to give like a little background about Rudy. So, Rudy used to be like a sail instructor in the Caribbean, and he also used to captain a really expensive boat in the Mediterranean, like between France and other places in the Mediterranean. And he's also done an ocean crossing. I think he said he had only done one. Anyway, doesn't matter. The point is, dude knows his stuff. And he's a really chill, awesome guy to be around. So it was like super fun to have him on the boat because he was just like, I enjoy spending time with him. And then on top of that, he knew what he was talking about when we didn't. So it was like fill in the gaps with like somebody that was actually fun to be around, which is perfect. Yeah, so that definitely cut down on our stress level massively.
Big time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were kind of on a time limit because I am still working. So I had to go back to work.
Yeah. And Logan's working in camp. So he's working like in remote camps near Bella Bella. So it's not like you can call in sick and then go to work the next day. Like it's like you call in sick and
a week for another flight.
Yeah, or 2 weeks, depending on how the shifts are going.
And then it throws your schedule off.
Yeah. So we got back like 2 days before you had to go, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were definitely on a tight schedule.
And we just happened to find, on our way over, about halfway,
I guess it was about halfway, hey?
maybe just a little over halfway, we managed to get a hold of a friend who knew of a spot that could possibly be open in Nanaimo, and we were motoring directly into the wind at the time, so everything said that we should turn and go to Nanaimo instead of continuing to Parksville.
Yeah.
And it was the greatest decision we've made.
Yeah, so it was like a 7-hour journey. 1 hour of that 7 was sailing, and that was like just when we made the decision to go to Nanaimo instead of to French Creek. We would have been motoring the entire time to French Creek because, again, we were on a time limit, so we couldn't be like tacking and jibing to get there. We had to be sailing in the direction. So yeah, that was pretty sweet. That was definitely like, and that was like for sure the best hour of the whole sail, obviously, because it was the only like sail. The rest was motoring, so that was pretty. Max
is very comfortable on the boat because it's not moving. Our boat is amazing to drive.
To drive with the wheel?
Yeah, it is so easy. It backs up, it turns. It is so much better than our old power boat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it maneuvers very well for being 32 feet.
Which I hope to learn as well, because I'm pretty stoked on being able to like live on a boat, hopefully that I can also captain, instead of just Logan doing it all the time.
And so far, every slip that we've had to get into is not big enough for the size of slip that it is.
Yeah, it's been pretty tight.
It's been really tight every time, with like less than a foot to spare, usually.
Good boy. Good dog. Who's the handsome boy?
Who's the first mate?
Who's the handsome boy? Does that mean there's 2 captains? If Max is first mate, does that mean that there's 2 captains?
Maybe.
Sure. It's okay, I'm home more than he is. That means that he's the one who gets shafted.
Hmm.
No comment.
Nope. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
We're going on a 5-day liveaboard sailing course next week, which is going to be awesome, I think. I think it's probably the best way for us to actually learn how to sail a boat. Well, thanks for listening and watching, and we will hopefully have some sick footage to share with you from sailing next week.
When we learn how to.
Yeah. Everybody can laugh at our fails as we learn and make ourselves look like idiots, probably. But as long as the instructor knows what he's doing, we should be fine. So yeah, till next week.